Unfortunately, depression is one of the most common mental health disorders here in the U.S. It's not only found in adults, but also in children and teens. In fact, nearly 2 million teens in the U.S. are diagnosed with depression, but far too many go undiagnosed. Good thing about it, though, is it can be treated. Here to talk about it now is Claire McMahon-Thomas, clinical social worker and therapist here in Albuquerque. Claire, good morning. Thanks for coming in and talking about this. It's a very important issue that I think sometimes people just gloss over, they don't want to deal with.
That's so true. There's sort of that veil of denial, you know.
There's sometimes a stigma attached to it that, oh, you don't want to say you're depressed or you don't want to tell somebody or go get help for it. Why is that?
Well, it used to be, but people are more open to feelings now, and it's just a natural occurrence. They've done more research. Brain studies have shown, MRIs have shown that there are actual changes in the brain in the areas of mood and intellect and behavior when people are depressed.
Okay, specifically now we want to talk about kids and teenagers being depressed. For parents out there, maybe teachers or other folks who interact with them, how can you tell if kids are kind of having some down feelings and maybe it's going more to that actually into a clinical depression state?
Well, the typical signs for depression are changes in appetite, changes in your sleep, and changes in feeling just a general sense of joy in life. You'll see low energy and enthusiasm. Kids in particular will show irritability, low self-esteem, feelings of helplessness and hopelessness that, if not treated, can lead to further problems. They can also be extremely sensitive to criticism or perceived criticism, or complain about aches and pains. That may lead them to not necessarily want to go to school, in which case I'd check out for the bullying.
Yep.
But the other piece might be it's just hard for them to concentrate.
Sure. How long do some of these symptoms go on? How do we know that it's just not, well, Johnny's not having a rough day or a rough week and maybe there's something maybe more to it?
Well, that might go on for a few days, but if this is persistent, if this goes on for weeks, if this goes on for a month, and it depends on what you're hearing them say.
Okay, so what can parents do if this is going on for, as you said, a couple of weeks or maybe even a couple of months?
Right. Well, the best thing for parents to do is, one, not panic, because depression is very treatable. But the other thing is just hang out with your kids. There's a myth that quality time is the way to go. Well, quality time gets kind of a performance thing going.
Sure.
So just hang out with them, offer support and encouragement if you think they're depressed. Have them take an appointment with a doctor to rule out any possible physical causes.
So you're talking first go to your family doctor.
Yeah, go to your family doctor and then call a mental health professional who can help you. And either one of those may suggest seeing a psychiatrist, but most of all, take care of yourself and your family.
Okay, real quick, you mentioned bullying. What else could be causing depression in kids and teenagers?
Some of the other causes, sometimes it's genetic, sometimes it runs in families, sometimes you can't find a cause. It just happens.
Okay.
A lot of times there's anxiety that goes on over a course of time, and that will just lead to depression, anything that's stressful. Divorce is hard for kids too, and I see kids that are depressed because of that. I also see kids that are depressed when there hasn't been a divorce too, so I'm not coming out pro or con on that one.
Absolutely. Great information. Claire McMahon-Thomas, clinical social worker and therapist in Albuquerque. Good advice. Hopefully parents take it to heart. Appreciate your thoughts this morning. All right, 7:28. Stick around. We have much more for you coming up on Two Casa this morning. Weather, headlines, traffic, and you want to explore New Mexico, but you don't know where? We're talking with a group that explores and enjoys the great outdoors. We'll be right back.